News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Lisa Mateo.
And I'm Karen Moskow.
Karen, we begin with the latest developments in the global trade war. President Trump's tariffs will remain in place for now. That's after an appeals court temporarily paused a ruling that had blocked them. Derek Walbank is our senior editor for U.S. Economics and Government.
This is going to work through the U.S. legal process. In the meantime, though, it has kind of complicated the idea that the Trump administration in this 90-day pause window was going and trying to do deals with individual countries. We really haven't seen a ton of deals come through with that. We've had the UK. A lot of others are said to be maybe close or near, but haven't gotten over the line.
Well, Bloomberg's Derek Walbank says that despite the temporary reprieve, the possibility does remain that the appeals court could ultimately back the original ruling and block President Trump's tariff policy. However, White House officials stress President Trump has options to pursue similar tariffs through other authorities if appeals ultimately fall short.
Lisa, the president met with Fed Chair Jay Powell at the White House for their first in-person meeting since the inauguration. The Fed says the president invited Powell to discuss economic developments for growth, employment, and inflation. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says Trump pushed Powell to lower interest rates.
The president did say that he believes the Fed chair is making a mistake by not lowering interest rates, which is putting us at an economic disadvantage to China and other countries. And the president's been very vocal about that, both publicly and now I can reveal privately as well.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says they did not discuss whether Trump would seek to remove Powell from his role. Powell's term as Fed chair expires in May of next year.
Well, President Trump will hold a news conference with Elon Musk later today at the White House to mark Musk's departure from Doge. We get the latest from Bloomberg's John Tucker. John.
And Lisa, the event gives an opportunity for the president and his biggest campaign benefactor to dispel any notion of an acrimonious divorce. In a post last night, President Trump said this will be his last day, but not really, because he will always be with us, helping all the way. Elon is terrific. In the past 2 weeks, Musk has sworn off future political donations and also criticized Trump's signature tax and spending cut proposal. The world's richest man had already announced he was pulling back from the so-called Department of Government Efficiency in order to spend more time running his various companies. His full exit comes at a critical time for Tesla, which is set to roll out full self-driving cars and a robo-taxi service. The Musk event isn't the only thing on the president's schedule. He's going to travel to U.S. Steel today after announcing a deal with Japan's Nippon Steel. I'm John Tucker, Bloomberg Radio.
All right, John, thank you. We'll catch President Trump and Elon Musk comments live here on Bloomberg, scheduled for 1:30 Wall Street time this afternoon on Bloomberg Radio, Bloomberg Television, and the Bloomberg Podcast page on YouTube. And to the markets now, Lisa, where futures are lower as we head into the last trading day of May. Traders are trying to navigate growing uncertainty about tariffs that are mired in legal battles. Rebecca Patterson, a former chief investment strategist at Bridgewater Associates.
The tariff level we settle at, I believe, will still be significantly higher than where we were at the beginning of the year. To me, at the end of the day, we're going to have volatility continuing. And I think we still have a bias of risk that U.S. bond yields, government bond yields, are sticky or biased higher. And that is going to be something that acts as a cap on equity sentiment.
Former chief investment strategist at Bridgewater Associates, Rebecca Patterson, also says investors will be paying close attention to a key economic report this morning. It's the Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index, excluding food and energy, the Fed's preferred gauge of underlying inflation. And Bloomberg Surveillance will bring you the numbers with context live at 8:30 Wall Street time on Bloomberg Radio and the Bloomberg Podcast page on YouTube.
And that's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Lisa Mateo.
I'm Karen Moskow, and this is Bloomberg.